Good morning. Welcome to Sage Summit 2013. It's wonderful to be gathered together for this important event, for our Sage brand and our Sage family. I really enjoyed that opening video. It made me think about the incredible challenges involved in climbing the highest mountains in the world. When you think about the physical and mental stress, battling a tough environment, and enduring uncertainty, it's just amazing what it takes to reach the summit. It makes you wonder, why on earth do people do it? What makes them choose to undertake such a difficult journey? I think part of the answer is that they do it to stretch their limits, to discover what they are capable of. People do it to learn new skills, to gain confidence, and to see if they can achieve the goals they set to themselves. I say all this with some first-hand experience. It was quite a long time ago, when I was still a teenager. I had a good fortune to be part of an expedition to climb Mont Blanc in the French Alps, the tallest mountain in Europe. It was an exciting and transforming experience for me. It gave me an understanding of what I was capable of as a young man, especially when I reached the top. Perhaps the thing that I remember the most is a shift in perspective that comes over to you as you look out from the summit. I thought, wow, the world is so huge. We have so many more challenges and opportunities, so many more things to explore and achieve. It was truly inspiring. I've come to realize that the process of climbing a mountain is similar to the journey we have undertaken to transform Sage over the last couple of years. It even begs a similar question asked of mountain climbers. Why did we do it? After all, we're a profitable company, we're stable, and doing okay. But we wanted to achieve more than that. We wanted to be relevant, to be the leaders of our markets, to chart a course the industry would follow, whether it is building a new strategy, changing our brand, restructuring our organization, or redefining our portfolio and business model. We choose to climb these different peaks to stretch ourselves and improve our abilities. If we do not test the limit of our system, we will not continue to grow. We will never know if we had achieved the full potential from the business we have in our hands. And just as in mountain climbing, we have had our horizon broadened by successfully reaching the peaks of our journey so far. We have gained new organizational capabilities and strengths. Sage people have developed the confidence and hunger to achieve more, to continue to push themselves. And we have expanded our perspective and said to ourselves, look at all those mountains. There's so much more opportunity in the market, more area for Sage to become leaders, more growth and potential for our partners. There are so many more things we can do with the business we have today. All of us here, Sage and you, can leverage the asset we have in our hands much more than what we think. That's what we want to talk with you about this morning. We have a very informative and interactive session planned. You are going to have the chance to hear from our global group leader, as well as a variety of Sage North American leaders and colleagues. You will hear about our commitment and efforts around enhancing the customer experience, about our product strategy, and the continued evolution of our business model to meet the needs of partners and customers alike. To get things started, I would like to introduce the CEO of Sage Group, Guy Berruyer. Hi, Guy.
Good introduction, huh? Good morning, everyone. And yes, I am sure that right away you're going to be assessing through my accent that I'm not American, not English, and yet you've all come to a North American conference of a British-born software company only to be greeted by two Frenchmen executives. What's going on there? So I think it's a reflection of how global Sage has become. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you all for coming. Business partners, ISVs, accountants remain the bedrock of our company. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, to listen to you, to work together with you to our mutual benefit. I've been 15 years at Sage, 3 years as CEO, but now is the most exciting time of my tenure. The emergence of cloud computing, mobile computing, is revolutionizing the IT industry. In our sector, it opens up to new customer needs, as well as fresh and elegant new ways to satisfy the traditional customer needs of accounting and ERP. Now, I'm really aware that this golden opportunity is not only available to Sage. Our existing competitors, aggressive startups, are all there to grab the same benefit. But I am confident that we can adapt and evolve. I am convinced that we can succeed in this, and I'm determined to make Sage even more relevant in our space. Now, like Pascal, I like to set challenging objectives to my teams and to myself. So his mountain story made me think about my own mountain story. Is there a bit of competition here between the two execs? No. So 5 years ago, I climbed Mount Kinabalu. This is the highest mountain in Asia, in South Asia, culminating at 13,200 feet. Now, I must admit that the next day, when I was at my business conference after climbing this mountain, my whole body was sore. And I remember there was a break, the first break, I got up, and I took my BlackBerry and pretended that I was extremely concentrated doing some extremely important emails because I couldn't put longer steps than that, etc. Now, I'd never climbed any mountain in my life before. So I succeeded to climb Mount Kinabalu because of two things. One, preparation, and two, resolute execution. So preparation, I researched in detail this expedition. I made sure that I prepared and was trained both physically and mentally, and I got all the equipment I needed. Resolute execution. When I set out at the beginning of the climb, I made sure I implemented the plan I'd prepared, and foot after foot, I continued until I reached the top, no matter how hard this was. So like Pascal, I see parallels between mountain climbing and what we're trying to do at Sage. The new growth strategy we communicated this month a year ago was researched and analyzed in great details, and we created an implementation plan which is very thorough. And our team, our leadership teams, are united about the determination to implement and the resolute execution. Our new vision to be the most valuable supporter of small and medium-sized companies by creating greater freedom for them to succeed is actually underpinned by three strategic cornerstones, which I'm now going to cover with you. The first one is about focusing on the core. And I'm not going to tell you in great details to an audience like you what our core business is. It's accounting, payroll, ERP, and all the products and services that connect and relate to that. We said we would reallocate resources to the area with most promise growth for us. And we've done just that. In North America, That has implied reorganizing R&D, centralizing R&D, and customer service and support so that we could reallocate resource faster. We said we would streamline our portfolio of products, and we've done just that. We just divested 7 businesses that we felt were no longer core to Sage. Now, focusing on the core does not mean shrinking Sage. Actually, a year ago, we acquired a business, sizable business in Brazil. And we continue to look and analyze potential acquisitions, including in North America. The second cornerstone of our strategy is capturing the technology opportunity. As I said before, there is phenomenal potential to grow with new technologies. So when I try to explain our technology strategy for the cloud, I divide our customer base in 3 segments. We have our small business and startup. We have our SMB customers, and we have our mid-market. So for our SMB customers, we have Sage 1. Our cloud solution has been released now in most of our European and American markets, a few more to go. For SMB customers, we've just announced in the UK our local ERP is now online, and we're going to do the same thing throughout Europe and North America in a relatively short future. And then for the mid-market, I've made the delivery of a cloud solution of our ERP X3, of Sage ERP X3, a personal focus of me as chief executive of the business. Very important to me. So a cloud solution for each of our 3 segments. But beyond cloud solution, connected services are very, very significant opportunities to us. What we define as connected service is either a service or an app in the cloud that connect with our on-premise solutions, potentially to all our customers. The first example of a connected service is a very successful payment solution we have here in North America. And it's been very successful to cross-sell integrated payments into the ERP customer base. So, congratulations to our North American team, and thank you to you, business partners. I congratulate you and thank you for getting this cross-sell on the way. This is an area where Sage North America leads within Sage. The second area of connected services is around everything around mobility, and you're going to hear a lot about this today. But again, all these mobile apps that we're bringing to market can be sold to any customers. And again, here, Sage North America is leading within Sage with mobile apps. As we move along with our cloud strategy, connected services, we make a lot of technology decisions, technology choices. To make sure we base our choices on the best advice, the best knowledge in the market, I decided over a year ago to create the Technology Advisory Group for Sage. And the 3 external members of our TAG are all West Coast-based, experienced technology leaders in the software sector. So they give us certainty, they give me confidence that the choices we are making are appropriate for what we try to deliver to our customers. The third cornerstone and the last cornerstone of our strategy is around subscription pricing. And it is about giving value, choice, and flexibility to our customers and to build a more intimate relationship with them over time. Remember, we started with license and upgrade. We went to license and contract. The next step is subscription. That will come over the next few years. So these are our three cornerstones of our strategy, and they are supported by a global brand. We've decided to unify our brand globally about a year ago. The next step has been to create a unique web presence, first in North America, and on the basis of the North American success of unifying the web presence, we're going to do the same worldwide. So that's our strategy. So how are we doing in terms of implementing it? I'm not the kind of CEO that looks at his share price every day and is focused on it all the time. But you know, our share price recently hit a 13-year high. So that's an indication to me that our shareholders and analysts in general believe that our strategy is right, and they trust management to implement it. We're still growing in Europe, not very fast, but in an economic environment which is essentially recessionary. In Spain, France, Germany barely growing, UK a little bit better. The fact that our business is growing in Europe shows the strength of our business. In our Asia, Africa, and Australia region, we're growing very fast. Business is going very well, in particular in the whole of Africa. We're doing extremely well there. And then in North America, our revenue growth has improved over the recent years. Margins have expanded. But it's not only financials. I take great comfort to see that our Net Promoter Score has more than doubled. And Net Promoter Score is a measure of customer loyalty. So I'm delighted about these results in North America. So to conclude, North America is very important to Sage. This is where the software industry was created. And still, a lot of innovations are born today. North America remains the largest single market that exists. And not far from half of our customers are in North America. You are all very important to Sage. For me, partnership with you, business partners, is at the heart of our strategy and our vision. Together, we can bring to our customers what they want: great products, service that they can trust, a supporter that understands the pleasures and the pain of operating a small or medium-sized businesses. Sage is moving forward with the right strategy at an exciting time. Together, I think we can all grow and be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you. You heard Guy said he's proud of what we have done here in North America, proud of the vision and the strategy we've laid out. I think the thing I'm most proud of is the leadership we have demonstrated. Over the course of the last 2 years, we have made ambitious and sometimes difficult decisions as a company. But more than that, we followed through and made things happen. In other words, we said what we were going to do, and we have done it. When we started to transform Sage, the first thing we said was, we cannot continue to work with so many different brands. Just impossible. So as you know, we made the decision to launch a unified brand and worked hard to build the equity of the Sage brand. And now, after rebranding all our products, we see an energy around the Sage brand we have never seen before. At the last year's Sage Summit, we said we're going to reorganize Sage North America in order to simplify our structure so we could focus on customer experience. Since then, we decreased the number of business units to 3. We centralized R&D, customer experience, marketing, and customer support. This made the work of transforming our company easier because it reduced the number of internal barriers we have to contend with. Last year, we also revealed a strategic plan that clearly laid out where we wanted to play in the marketplace and where we didn't want to play. We said we're going to divest businesses that were non-core businesses so that we could reallocate resources to our priority areas. Within 6 months of this announcement, we have sold 3 major businesses here in North America. During this time, we unveiled our portfolio management strategy and identified which products we wanted to invest in and where we wanted to disinvest. It was a difficult decision to make internally, difficult to announce, and difficult for some of our partners to hear. But it was the right decision. Next, we said we were going to move to the cloud and to mobile. Since then, we released Sage 1 as a pure SaaS for the entry level. And 18 months after announcing our hybrid and connected services strategy, we have new offerings available now. Not tomorrow, but today. When it comes to pricing, we said customer preference was changing. Today, customers want the freedom to buy what they want, when they want. So we said we're going to introduce a subscription pricing, and that's exactly what we did. I hope you've seen a pattern here. It is a pattern that everyone at Sage can be proud of. Each time we say we're going to do something, we've done it. We had ambitious ideas that required courageous decisions, and then we acted boldly. What is the outcome of all of this? Well, here are 2 impressive developments. In H1 of this year, our business has grown organically by 4%. And over the past year, our Net Promoter Score, as Guy said, has moved from 11 to 24%. For those who are not very familiar with Net Promoter, there are surveys we send customers throughout the year based on one single question. On a scale from 0 to 10, how strongly would you recommend Sage to your friends, family, or business colleagues? Only those customers that give us a score, 9 or 10, would be considered favorable references. The results indicate customers responding positively to our efforts to incorporate their feedback in our product design, in our efforts to improve the ease of doing business with Sage. I think that development is one of the most amazing things to me, that our customer experience score should be higher now than before we began our transformation. Customers are happier with Sage today after we rebranded our products, after we reduced our portfolio, after we simplified our organization. Why? Because they know what we stand for, what we offer, and it's easier to do business with Sage today. What we have accomplished with this transformation in only 18 months is truly incredible. But we couldn't have done it without you and your support. I and all the Sage employees here want to take this opportunity to congratulate you and thank you. Your contributions and commitment to our strategy have led to much of this success. The progress we have made and the positive trends we are seeing are very exciting. But it's just the beginning. There are early indicators that we are on the right path. We are not done, and we are not resting. As I said at the opening, we have successfully climbed some very high peaks. But now that we have gotten up here and expanded our perspective, we can see that there is much more challenging and rewarding summits to reach. We must continue to work on transforming our business together. I believe this is a truly exciting time for Sage and for our partners, a time of new opportunities and growth. And to help shed light on the effort Sage is taking to capitalize on these opportunities, I would like to ask some Sage North American colleagues to join me in this conversation. First up, please welcome Sage North America CTO Head of Product Strategy, Himanshu Palsule. Hey, Himanshu.
How are you? Hello, everyone.
Thank you, Himanshu, for joining me.
Thank you.
I know our guests would appreciate hearing from you this morning. I thought you and I could touch on some of the key developments and initiatives we are working on to provide our customers with more value enables their success.
Sure, that would be great. So it was great listening to Guy this morning and his confidence in North America. So one of the things Guy emphasized was our vision to be a trusted supporter of SMBs by giving them the freedom to succeed. So generating a positive customer experience, Pascal, has to be the cornerstone of being considered a trusted supporter. So how do you think we're doing in that area?
Generating a consistently positive customer experience is not easy. It's not something that happened overnight. There has been a big cultural shift for Sage over the past few years. We're making good progress.
So let's take can you give some examples on where that progress has happened?
Yeah, overall, we have continued to see our Net Promoter Score trend upwards. Yeah. Another way we are improving our customer experience by listening to our partners and customers much more closely. We are calling this Sage Listens. This is a part of the transformational journey in creating a unique customer experience. Imanshu, I think this would be a good time to have Brad share with the audience more details how we are achieving this transformation.
I think that's a great idea.
Please welcome Brad Smith, our EVP of Customer Experience.
Thank you, Pascal. It's a great time to be here with all of you. I'm very excited about the efforts that we've been making over the past year to engage our customers and improve the customer experience that they have at Sage. I think these efforts are beginning to have a dramatic effect on all of your businesses, because we know that the more positively our customers think about Sage and its products and services, the more they're going to seek out your services and your expertise, right? We believe that value is defined as ease of use, flexibility, freedom, mobility, customability, and of course a low cost of entry. But customers actually, they want something more, right? They want a positive, easy to understand, and comforting experience. Pascal mentioned that generating a consistently positive customer experience is hard, and it's something that certainly doesn't happen overnight. In fact, this represents a big cultural shift for all of us. It begins with listening, but I think more importantly, the courage to change. We've undertaken a variety of initiatives here to better understand our customers. The Sage Listens RV Tour, which many of you might know about, is yet another example. At Sage, we believe that every customer has a unique story to tell. So let me share an example with you of a customer that we visited just last week. Meet Warren Dibble. He's a longtime employee and the CFO of Harpoon Brewery in Boston, whose mantra is to create a great beer drinking experience and is trying to expand his business evenly and safely all the way out to the West Coast. What keeps Warren up at night is the growth hurdles and obstacles that come from an antiquated regulatory policies and trying to run a small business that's really moved from being a simple brewery to a restaurant, to a lifestyle, to a retail brand. This is a great example of why Sage executives are going across the country this summer, visiting customers and partners to learn about their ambitions, their dreams, their day-to-day challenges, so that we can design better products and services to meet all those needs. And just as importantly, we can find ways to help them to achieve the success that they desire. I encourage you all to stop by the Sage Marketplace and come visit the RV. And if you live in close proximity of our route, please let us know, and we'd like to schedule a visit with our traveling band of executives. The Sage RV has actually already driven 1,500 miles since last July.
Hey, Brad. Sorry. I hate to interrupt you and you know, your keynote and everything here, but I've been sitting out in the audience talking to some really nice partners out here, and I think there's a little confusion.
Jason, this is Jason Henley, our VP of R&D. Thanks for the interruption. Confusion about the RV?
Well, you know, that and as well as what is the partner's role in this entire Sage listening tour? I mean, I think everyone would agree that it's great that Sage is taking this customer experience thing so seriously, but I'm getting the feeling of a little bit of worry out there in the audience. You know, what's the role of the partner in all this? Where do they fit in?
Okay, no, you know what? That's actually a great question, and I'm glad you brought it up. So to begin with, let me make this clear, right? Our partners are absolutely essential in our efforts to deliver a stronger customer experience. You and your staff are the ones that our customers forge the very first relationships with. They rely on you. They interact with you. They share with you their concerns, their needs, their aspirations. We know that the top 3 influences for a Sage customer to buy our products and services are actually first their accounting and CPA, then their peer network, and then finally the IT and VAR partners that are in this very room, just like yourselves. We also know that when these conversations happen, about 28% of the time, they occur online in peer-to-peer communities where they're interacting with each other. And that's why we created Sage City Online. It's a peer-to-peer community. It's a gathering place, really, for our customers and our partners and our Sage account network.
And Sage City is great. I love Sage City. Been out there a lot. Can you expand a little bit on what's the benefit of that to the partners?
Oh, sure, sure. Well, okay, so this is the first place where partners can go and connect with other partners. Their Sage account network members can connect with each other. We can discuss common issues, challenges, opportunities, or trends that they might be seeing in their neck of the woods and interact with others to get some help. It's also a great place to find highly skilled Sage employees who are always ready to assist. These forums are protected communities that only our partners or our Sage account network members can get into. Now, the other part of Sage City Online is for our customers. And that's a place where our customers can discuss product issues, or maybe more importantly, day-to-day business role concerns. In fact, it's the perfect place for Warren to talk with other microbrewery, lifestyle, retail brand CFOs about expanding their businesses through antiquated regulatory environments. It's a great place for our partners to better understand our customers and their needs. And also, it's a great place for our partners to demonstrate their IT moxie and earn higher reputation by answering questions online.
Very cool, very cool. I like that a lot, what you're saying. But I've got to think about the partners out here, Brad, and there's a lot of the partners that probably would say to you, you know what, I already know my customers really well. Why would Sage want to get even closer?
Okay, all right, fair question. Okay, so I recognize that watching Sage get closer to our customers might, I don't know, be a little bit threatening, right? But there is a reason why Sage is reaching out to our customers and why we want to work with all of you to ensure that we better understand our customers together. You know, I assure you that Sage isn't the threat here. Rather, we all have a shared threat.
Oh, a shared threat. Okay, the plot thickens here, guys. Can you explain the shared threat?
Fair enough. Okay, so the markets that we're operating in are changing massively. And one significant driver of that change is the very makeup of our workforce. Our customer base and the broader business workforce really could be broken down into 3 big groups. If you went to high school on or before 1984, you're in the pre-PC generation, right? These folks grew up in a world where technology was complex and tricky and daunting, and paying good money to have somebody deal with that complexity was a great idea. Come 2015, this segment of the workforce is going to be less than 33% of the total workforce.
Hey, Brad, I hate to interrupt you again, and really no offense, okay? but I'm way too young for that group.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I hear you. But if you were in high school on around 1994, okay, then you're pre-internet generational, right? So you're better equipped to deal with technology, but data, where's my data? Is it safe? Is it backed up? Who has access to it? These are the things that are top of mind.
All right, you got me there.
And then finally, if you went to high school in the 2000s, you're a digital native, right? You grew up in a world of always-on mobile connected devices that are easy to buy, consume, and wire into your life.
Okay, so the digital native's always on. I've got that. So what you're saying is this threat that you were speaking of earlier is really these different generational expectations.
Yeah, no, exactly. Listen, we all have to over-service the pre-PC guys, right? And maintain our strong presence in that space. But we have to grow, and we've got to double down to find ways to better reach these other 2 groups.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Looking at your slide here, the digital natives, always on, continuous access from anywhere. They have different sensibilities, different interests, different needs, and Sage and Sage's partners need to get closer to these customers to understand them. Is that right?
No, that's it exactly. In fact, you know, we should be locking arms now more strongly than ever and helping each other to tackle the challenges of this shifting marketplace together.
Cool. Well, thanks, Brad. Sorry for interrupting your keynote. I'll try not to do it again.
Interrupt me anytime. That was great. I invite you all to join me at this morning's super session all around customer experience and how to map it. I'll be sharing with you best practices from across various industries on how to deliver an extraordinary customer experience, but also things that you could perhaps apply to your businesses immediately today. Later on this morning, you're going to get a chance to see how Sage is delivering experiences and business models that fit each of these generational expectations. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Brad. That was great. And thanks to Jason who came up and prompted that important discussion.
So Pascal, it's exciting to hear how much progress we've made with our customer listening journey.
Yeah, what I said a month ago, we are doing a better job of listening. But it is a journey. And being able to more effectively meet customer needs means we have to continue to improve our internal processes. So I think listening is a first and important step. But it's not just about listening. It's about reacting, it's about rethinking products, it's about advising, it's about assisting customers on how to be successful. And we still have plenty of work ahead of us. At the end of the day, the best judges of customer experience are the customers themselves. We have undertaken a major effort with many different components to listen to our customers and then find a way to better meet their needs. Okay, so that's the context around what we're doing in terms of customer experience. Himanshu, let's talk a little about our portfolio strategy. Okay. Last year, we announced our focus on our core business and the fact that we would like to increase investment in some areas, but reducing investment in others. Can you share the progress we've made in this effort?
Sure, Pascal. So as you know, it's been a busy year for the teams as we worked on such a huge transformation within R&D. We began this transformation about a year ago. I took over as CTO and we centralized the R&D organization. For that, we had to break down all the different product silos and legacies and instead replace them by these centers of excellence, which we now have across North America. Centers of excellence for cloud, mobility, connected services like payments. We have product design and experience and cloud enablement. So having done that, our next focus was to make sure that our product priorities are closely aligned with our strategy. And as you know, we had to make some tough decisions. The objective behind this was to bring greater focus on a select few investments, and for that, we had to reduce the total number of products in our portfolio. We also needed to accelerate the movement to the cloud and to mobility, because that's where the broad customer base and markets were moving. We built a brand new underlying cloud and mobile infrastructure with a focus on creating a delightful experience in every interaction. We also focused on upskilling the talent pool that we have at Sage. As you know, we've hired people from BlackBerry, AOL, Dun & Bradstreet, recently from Disney, Virgin Mobile, and also from some of our key competitors to start filling out areas that were new to Sage when we began this journey. I'm really proud of how quickly my team has changed and has been able to embrace all of this transformation.
Okay, Himanshu, let's talk more about the movement to the cloud, since this has generated a lot of focus with our customers and our partners. Can you share our vision and our tracking to this vision?
Sure. So let's start with what our customers tell us. So customers repeatedly tell us that their needs vary pretty significantly based on their market size or their company size. I mean, naturally, the needs of a 3-employee company using an invoice application is going to be very different than that of a 500-employee company going through a full ERP implementation. The same holds true for the cloud. As a result, our approach to the cloud is based on these markets served, and Guy touched on them. Last year, we showed our vision in this slide and explained how we were planning to target these 3 separate markets. What I'm going to do today is give you an update on how the progress we've made in these markets and how connected and mobile services sort of pull all of this together. Let's start with the startup business. As you all know, these are companies with roughly less than 10 employees. And we've launched Sage One, which is a web-native product now on a global platform. And recently, we've added some significant functionality in accounting as well as bank reconciliation. As you know, Pascal, we already have over 10,000 customers worldwide on this global platform. We are now busy adding mobility services. And more importantly, we are working very closely with our accountants to sort of open this up in the cloud so that accountants and their clients can share data simultaneously using this product. Now let's take a look at the core SMB space, which is companies with 20 to 200 employees. We are leveraging our relationship with Microsoft with the launch of the Microsoft Azure platform as our cloud platform. And by the end of the year, we'll be shipping our first release of Sage 300 on this cloud and on this platform. And that's just the start of a pretty exciting journey. Version 2.0 that comes next year will have significant more improvements in the user experience, connected services, etc. And we've already started work on Sage 100 Cloud using the same Azure network. Last but not the least, let's talk about the mid-market and the fast-growing Sage ERP X3, which is a global product, and we have 4,000 global customers on it. And as you know, and you're very proud of, we've just in North America this year, we've had 200% increase in new customer acquisitions. And the best is yet to come. So version 6.5, which ships in December, the release, has the financial functionality and connected services that I know a lot of the partners here and our salespeople have been asking for. And then 7.0 goes into beta. We shouldn't call 7.0 a version upgrade. We should call it an extreme user interface makeover with personalization and a rich web experience. 7.0 is also going to have some very strong collaboration functionality, like the ability to take an object from your desktop, could be a PDF, could be an Excel spreadsheet, click, drag, and drop it into the ERP, and have it then embedded in the entire workflow. We're also delivering a conversion client, which will make it simpler to take all the 6.5 enhancements and move it to 7.0. I think that's an important point I want to emphasize, because what it means to all of you partners and our salespeople is you can continue to sell 6.5 with confidence today, knowing that 7.0 is going to take care of all your changes and they'll be transferred over to that product. So at that time, we'll also start work on the Sage ERP X3 Cloud, for which you heard Guy also make a commitment. But more on that at a later time. There's a large theater dedicated to Sage ERP X3 in the exhibit hall, and I'll strongly encourage all of you to come and attend that.
Right, and this is aligned with our Sage vision of putting customers and the need at the center of our strategy, instead of pushing a technology-led strategy. Can you share what partners can expect from our mobile and connected services strategy?
My favorite topic. So let me remind everyone in the audience what our connected services strategy is. It's the ability to liberate data and business processes that typically used to be locked into your ERP into the cloud, allowing for anywhere, anytime access, while still preserving all the investments and knowledge and training that has gone into the core product with minimal disruption. The slide here shows services that are in the market today. Applications like mobile sales, mobile services, mobile payments, time tracking, project tracking, project files, etc. As Guy mentioned, our payments integration is a prime example of a successful connected service. In fact, I think it epitomizes what connected services stand for, where payment information is quickly and securely processed from right within the ERP, sometimes with just the swipe of a credit card. We already have these applications shipping today, and I encourage all of you to spend time in our trade show floor looking at and obviously selling these applications. Supporting all these services, we have built out the Sage Data Cloud in Microsoft Azure with a common connector design, which is very important because now all our accounting and ERP products and ISV enhancements will have a seamless synchronization with this cloud and will allow for continuous delivery updates. The cloud offers multi-tenant storage with the ability to scale out and scale up, allowing us to add thousands of users to these services. And we have not forgotten about all you ISVs out there. We are building connectors, APIs to this Sage Data Cloud and improving our development partner program to help support all of you. In fact, there is a product and technology session right after this where we'll be covering all of this in great detail and also explaining this new program.
Going back to our discussion with Brad, can you elaborate on how this strategy enhances our customer experience?
Sure. Well, customer experience was almost simpler in the old world because there was only one experience, and that was the Windows experience. As long as your applications looked and felt and behaved like Windows, that was the experience. The web has changed all of that, and today it's about choice and flexibility. Customers want to just easily interact on laptops, desktops, smartphones, tablets, browsers, etc., with the expectation that information will be available instantaneously in context, regardless of location. And again, this fits perfectly with our strategy of choice and flexibility and not to be bogged down by a single solution to a complex problem.
So you're saying customers want flexibility and choice in their deployment, and they expect vendors like Sage to support that flexibility. For example, they might want on-premise or cloud. They may want our product and services on a laptop, a tablet, on a smartphone, at home, at their office, off-site. And they expect information to be available at the time of need. So how do we achieve that?
So to answer that question, or those several questions, what I'm going to do is ask some of my colleagues to join me on stage, and we're actually going to show you live how we plan to do this. You guys want to see that? All right, well, let me walk over there. Hello there. Glad you all are here. Let's start with Doug Laban. Doug is the VP of Product Management and Product Marketing for a mid-market business. Rajiv Amar, who's the head of R&D for construction real estate. How are things in the construction real estate world these days?
We're really excited about building this industry-leading construction software.
Yeah?
Really, really exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of pioneering that you guys have done with this technology.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm going to come back to you, and you're going to actually show us all of that.
You got it.
Mary, how are you?
Pancho, I'm great. How are you?
Known you for what now, 16 years?
Long time, yes.
And you're a native here in DC,
Yes.
so
Yes.
thank you for letting us use your city.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you all for coming to our hometown here. We appreciate it.
Very good. So you're going to be ready with something exciting.
Yes, very
Okay.
exciting.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to actually start with you, Doug.
I need just a minute. My laptop fell asleep here.
Okay, well, I was going to convince you all that everything we're doing here is live, but I guess I don't need to do that. So what you're going to see here, the two examples we're going to emphasize are user experience has to be native to the device that the user expects it to work on. Those days, we believe, are gone, where something could just be ported onto something and be good enough. The web, the smartphones, the tablets changed all of that. And the second thing we want you all to take away is all these services that you're going to see here. The way we build it now is we build it maybe for one product, but they end up working across our entire portfolio. So what you see here will be examples of Sage 300, Sage 100, Sage Construction. But the beauty of this model is by the time these services end up being released, they will work across all products. And I'm running out of things to say, so you better be ready now. Are we good to go?
We are good to go.
All right, so what you got?
And that was exciting. So what I'm going to share with you is Sage Mobile Service.
Yeah.
Last year, everybody saw we were here doing prototypes. And the team has done great work.
Yeah.
It's completed.
Very
and
good.
we have customers using it today.
Excellent. All right, so you have an iPhone, and let's switch to the iPhone, and then you're going to use a MacBook. I just want to tell everyone what the devices are to show this level of diversity.
Yes, this is for the service technician
Yeah.
on Sage Mobile Sales. This is a consumer's laptop. And I see a lot of Mac Airbooks in the audience as well. So let's start with the service technician.
Okay.
First of all, they wanted a natural experience. So service technician
So
can
you
see
move
their
it, and
calendar.
the screen changes, the real estate changes, and we adapt to that because we're native.
Yes.
All right.
So let's take a look. Today, this service technician is working on a bathroom remodel
Okay.
and looking at my work orders. So here we see the contact information, the address, the work order details.
Yeah.
Supposed to call 20 minutes before I arrive, so service is important.
Yeah.
And then listening to customers and partners, they told us, look, we want to be able to put labor and parts and even do tax on work orders.
So if this is a true connected service, everything you're seeing here, including tax, is being pulled real time from the ERP product.
Yes.
All right.
And not only that, as a connected service, it works with all our ERPs. So this is actually a demo for 100, 300, and others. It's exactly the same thing. So let's, I noticed on this project that I forgot to add enough copper pipe.
Okay.
We extended that. And instead of 2, it's actually 5.
Always need more copper.
Well, you had us move a little farther around the building than we expected. Changing scope on us, I suppose.
All right. So when this refreshes, there you go. So that's the new tax. So it actually went and pulled tax from the accounting system, and it populated on your mobile phone.
Yes.
Good.
And you have here choice of payment. Would you like to pay by credit card or on account?
I'm your loyal customer. I think let's go with account.
It looks like you're approved for on account, so let's move to customer sign off.
Okay.
These are the details, $1,500. Does that look right? There's your email.
Yep.
So I just need your signature.
You sound like my teenager. There you go.
There you go. So now we submit it. By the way, now we have your signature digitally stored. It was just approved, went to Sage Data Cloud. The back office now has this.
Okay.
And when they click the button to approve the invoice on that work order, it's going to arrive over here.
So let's switch to the MacBook now.
So now I'm on the consumers. And there's the invoice.
There's the, all right, very good. With
And
the
that's
right tax
1,500.
calculation. Good job, Doug.
And the right tax calculation.
Okay, what do we do now?
So now this is Sage Billing and Payment. So it's a connected service. It supports this, but it also will support all the needs of an accounting office.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and pay it.
And this is going to be in our secure PCI compliant environment.
Absolutely. It's using Sage Payments and all the security. It's checking to see if this invoice has been paid before.
So all the complexities, it's going through our gateway, it's looking at banks, regs, and all of that, and it's going to return
Yes.
a value. Okay?
It's checking through the cloud. If a consumer's already paid it,
The cloud must be
we
far
don't want to
away.
pay it again. Yeah, this was this was the network challenge we were having.
All
a moment
right,
ago.
not a problem. People understand. That's right, yeah. The sun came out. All right, so what's happening here is, as a customer, I receive an invoice, I click to pay, it goes ahead and pays, and I get confirmation back from the gateway that the invoice was processed. And these are, obviously, we're dealing with real-time connection here, and I'm sure all of you are trying to hog that Wi-Fi that we are using. But the point of this exercise is, this is a real shipping app today, and our customers, and the feedback you've got, Doug, are delighted with this level of service that they're getting.
Yes, in fact, and here it came. It said that invoice isn't paid. So
Okay, so let's switch back to your MacBook.
Yep. It's going to pull this up.
All right.
You know what? Let us show you in the session.
Yeah, I think you should. All right, round of applause for Doug, guys. Thank you very much. Let me move to contestant number 2. What Rajiv has here, let's see, you have a Samsung device and an iPhone, and you have the same application running on both devices, and you're going to show how the behavior is going to switch when you move from one device to another.
Yep.
Okay, so let's switch to your Samsung device.
Okay, and before I begin with this, just kind of, when we embarked on designing this application, we wanted to make sure that we had a common experience for Sage while catering to the needs of Android users as well as the iPhone users and so forth. It's very, very important to personalize that experience.
Absolutely.
So if I look at the Samsung, what I'm going to do is tap on Enter My Time, and you'll see I already entered some time in there. And if I wanted to edit this, an Android user expects a certain behavior. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just hold it. And what happens is you get this slider.
Yeah, which is the widget that I would expect if I was an Android user.
Absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll quickly change that.
Yeah.
I'll save it. And now it's been saved.
Okay.
So that is the user experience they expect in terms of entering and editing and so forth.
So now let's switch to the iPhone and take a look at the same application and see how the behavior changes.
Exactly. So when you look at this, you'll notice the screen is the same.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to now change that, I'll go back to the entering time. Again, I have another entry in here. So if I wanted to edit this, all I have to do is tap on this, and I see a dial. So the expectation really is that you can switch through there and save it, and it's ready to go.
Very good. Very good. So again, the two takeaways here from both Doug and Rajiv is native user experience to what the user is expecting. Again, the power of the hybrid cloud. It's not one solution for everyone. And the fact that everything that you all did was synchronizing back with the ERP, liberating you from all the data that used to be stuck there.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. Mary, you've been patiently waiting here.
Thank you.
So let's see what you got. We're going to switch to your Windows Surface Pro, is that
Yes,
correct?
I have a Windows Surface Pro, and in a moment you'll be looking at the new Windows interface.
Yeah.
There we go. And before I show you what I have here for Windows 8, I'm going to go out to the desktop. Does that look familiar?
That's our fixed asset list view.
It is indeed.
Now I notice this looks very different from the cluttered view that we used to have a year or two ago, and I know you and your team have done a lot of work and with the UI.
Yeah, we did refresh the UI and we refreshed the technology underneath. And so what I wanted to do, I brought the screen up because I wanted to show you how we've transformed this into a Windows 8 application.
Okay,
Let's
go take a look.
So I'm going to go back out here. Before I go into this, let me explain. We have depreciation as a service in the cloud wrapped by a fully robust API, and we've created a Windows 8 application that feeds into that API. Okay?
Yep.
So when I touch the Sage tile, I've gone into the cloud, and here are my companies in the cloud.
And in keeping with the Metro UI, within the tile, it's actually showing you information, in this case, how many assets are there per company.
Correct. So I'll go in the ABC company, the first company listed here, and you'll see a similar asset list. Okay, similar to that screen we saw for our current version.
So same information, but laid out very differently now for the mobile user, because you may not need all that
Exactly.
detail.
Now we do have some customization capability. We can choose what columns we want to see, and so we can very quickly change that information and go back, and now we're seeing exactly what we want to see. Now we also, if we're looking for an asset, we can go to our tile view, and let's say I know it's in a certain department, Department 200. This is the Windows 8 metaphor. You show the tiles up at the top.
Yeah.
If I were to touch 200, it's going to display the assets that are in Department 200. And yes, that office chair, that's what I was looking for. So
Wish I had one right now.
Yes. So I'm going to go into the detailed view of that asset, and we have various areas, the general information, books, images, etc. I want to take you to the books. And once I select books, I'll see it appear over on the right.
Fantastic. And that now gives you the ability to compare, in this case, your tax book and your internal book.
Right. So I can just scroll down, scroll up. And if I wanted to say, look at the tax and state book, I can very easily deselect internal. And now I've got the tax and state together to compare to.
Good job. So the message here again is, while we continue to work and enhance our current product, as you have, the on-premises product, which is used in a very different metaphor on a desktop, when you move to a mobile tablet, customers may not want all that information to move up, and you're using native, in this case, Windows 8, to generate that delightful experience.
Absolutely.
Very good, Mary. Good job. Well, round of applause for the three of them. Thank you. So what we showed you here is something that the teams have been working on for the past year. And as I mentioned, these applications are out in the market. In fact, you go to the iTunes store, and several of these are available for download. But our journey doesn't stop here. In fact, we're just warming up. You would agree that the pace of innovation is exploding in North America and worldwide. And Sage is certainly participating with great gusto in this innovation. So voice and text is starting to become more and more pervasive in our day-to-day lives. Think Apple Siri or think Google Glass as two examples. So while voice commands are still in their infancy, we believe that they have a huge opportunity for SMBs as sort of the next generation of connected services. So what I'm going to do is give you a brief look at the future. And I thought this was going to be the risky part of the demo, but we're going to do it. And from our dark Black Ops Innovation Labs, I'm going to call up on stage Steve Malmgren. Steve, how are you doing?
Good.
All right. So Steve has a Microsoft Windows phone that you're going to connect to your Surface Pro. So we can switch to Steve's phone here. All right. So to do this, let's role play to make it easy. Right?
I love a good role
pretend
play.
I'm a customer, and I just got a call from my customer asking for the status of a part.
Okay, but I assume you got the memo from finance that says we're supposed to check available credit limits prior to pursuing sales activity?
Steve, who reads finance memos?
Apparently just me. So who was the customer? Do you have their customer number?
What do you think, I'm Rain Man? I don't know their number. I do remember it was American something was the customer name.
American something. Wow, that's good. Anything else, like maybe a street, city, state?
We talked about the Brewers, so I know they're from Milwaukee. So how about this? American something from
How
Milwaukee.
can I assist you?
Oh, she's asking already. American in Milwaukee. Okay. Give me the balance for American in Milwaukee.
Heard you say give me the balance for American in Milwaukee. 01 ABF, American Business Futures. Balance is $5,732.36. Open order amount, $8,422.64. Credit balance remaining, $5,845.
Very good. So what's exciting here is you didn't need all the information. You're able to use bits of information that I gave you and make a round trip to the ERP, search for the information, and pull it on your phone.
That's right, in real time. So we're using the power of full text search, in this case, a portion of the name and the city to find the best match.
Great. Well, now find my part.
Do you have the part number? I'm guessing no?
No, it was Universal 5 1/4" something.
Okay. Stock check Universal 5.
Heard you say stock check Universal 5. 8,971, Universal 5 and 1/4 SSDD Flex DSK, 170 available in location, East Warehouse.
So what's critical here again to point out, and the same point I made on stage there, that people expect this information to be in context. On the mobile device, you don't have time or the real estate to go through scattered information. So you've had contextual information showing up.
Exactly. So we knew American Business Futures is in Milwaukee, so it knew to check the East Warehouse. But what's also important is it understood the context. We're using a natural language process. So when I asked for a balance, it knew I was interested in customer information. But when I said stock check or asked a question like, give me the quantity available, it knows I'm looking for inventory information.
Cool. And then if I was on the road and I needed to call them, considering this is even a phone.
It is a phone.
So how would you pull up their phone number?
Phone number for American in Milwaukee. Heard you say phone number for American in Milwaukee.
I'm getting old.
01 ABF, American Business Futures. Phone number is 414-328-7947.
So once again in context, asking for a phone number. Since it is a phone number, the application understands it. I can double tap, interact directly with the phone, and dial the device. Okay.
Well, let's not call them now, but let's go pull up their address, because again, I would expect an embedded feature like maps and address to be built into a text search like this.
Give me the address for American in Milwaukee.
Heard you say give me the address for American in Milwaukee. 01 ABF, American.
And once again, double tap, takes you directly to the map, get directions, find the nearest Starbucks, whatever you need to do.
Fantastic. Good job. Round of applause for Steve, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. So the reason we decided to show you this demo is to highlight the fact that a strategy like connected services, a hybrid cloud strategy, is very strong in its longevity and its ability to continue to innovate. So today we use probably the click metaphor or the tile metaphor or the tap metaphor, but this will continue to evolve with things like voice and text to basically free up that data and allow access from the cloud. So I'm going to go back and join Pascal back on stage.
Yeah, hey, Manchu, it's exciting stuff.
Yes.
Thank you for showing that how Sage is leading in the type of cross-device flexibility. What you have shown looks challenging for Sage, but it looks far easier for our customers, which is a great example of how we are focusing on the customer experience. It also solves the old issue of ERPs being traditionally closed and proprietary. I noticed that you and your team didn't really use terms like SaaS, multi-tenant?
As the case should be, just like 10 years ago, we didn't use terms like client-server, point-to-point networks, WAN, LAN, etc. We have consistently said SaaS is a delivery mechanism. It's a pretty good delivery mechanism, but it's an enabling technology where applicable. It's not a customer solution. We get SaaS. We've built multi-tenant applications like Sage 1 because that was important to that market being served. At the same time, in our SMB cloud, we are moving products like Sage 100, Sage 300, Sage ERP X3 as some examples into the hybrid cloud because we have hundreds of thousands of customers that we have to be responsible for when we do this innovation into the cloud. And the beauty of this is we are tying all of this together with connected and mobile services that will work consistently across this portfolio. Now, Pascal, if SaaS is all I had, like some of my competitors, then that's all I would talk about.
I wouldn't want to be them.
No.
Left behind in the dust.
Or sitting in a pub alone at National Harbor.
Fortunately, Sage is at the head of the curve precisely because of our innovation and leadership. And when you create better experiences and start to transform your business in the process, you also redefine the value proposition and business models of our customers. Terms like ROI or TCO start to mean something very different. Customers start to realize the value of freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom to switch, freedom to use, freedom to deploy, and freedom to pay. And customers realize the value of instant gratification and the fact that they can have the solutions they want when they want it. All the new connected services and mobile applications we demonstrated today during this session will reinforce this behavior. Because that's exactly what those services provide, instant gratification and flexibility. That's why moving to subscription is critical for our business model and to our success.
So is there a risk, Pascal, with providing all this amount of freedom to a customer for us as a vendor?
Yes, definitely. Once you remove a vendor or a technology locked in, you give customers choice. You give them the ability to replace you easily and at any time. And if you are not meeting their expectations. But we are absolutely confident in what we are building and trust that our customers will reward our commitment to them with their business.
So as a result of that, we obviously have to change a lot to accomplish that, but that also means our business partners would need to change.
Yes, absolutely. Change is an integral part of being in the technology industry. It's part of our DNA. And we have been saying this to partners for 2 years. As most of our audience members know, we started a seminar series around Firm of the Future to start preparing partners for this change. Your businesses are transforming in a new world, just like ours. Partners, accountants, ISVs are all going through this change. To provide some deeper insight into why it's important to make and navigate this change, I would like to turn it over to Joe Negner and Jennifer Wara, who works very closely day in and day out with our partners and accountants.
Good morning, everyone. And thanks, Pascal and Himanshu. I got to tell you, I am absolutely thrilled to be here, and I just have to say, wow. It was about a year ago, well, almost exactly a year ago, that we were showing prototypes, and now we have these solutions in the market, serving our customers and benefiting our overall ecosystem.
I agree, Joe. With all these new solutions, it looks like there's a lot of opportunity, but where to start? If you were a partner sitting out in the audience today, what would you be doing based on everything you've heard? What are the biggest opportunities?
Well, if I were a partner, I'd be thinking about how could I capitalize on this opportunity today and reap the benefit for my business and for my customers. First, I would embrace the mobile technology and Sage's surge to the cloud. Next, I'd capitalize on the alternative new pricing strategies we have because it lowers the barrier to entry and it makes it easier to acquire new customers and position these new solutions with them. And third, I really look to expand the solutions that I offer. I'd move from maybe representing 1 or 2 solutions to really representing the full portfolio of Sage solutions. I do this because it allowed me to better serve my customers. It'd allow me to take advantage of these new revenue opportunities to grow my business.
So those are some great ideas, and I'm sure it has everyone in the audience already thinking about how can I apply these ideas in my own business. So one question for you, Joe. As partners prepare to take advantage of all these opportunities, do you think there's anything new that they need to know or consider?
Yeah, I do. I would definitely suggest working even closer with my team to ensure they understand the differences in our customers and the changes that are going on in our marketplace. You know, as example by Brad Smith, and talking about the increase in the digital natives and the expectations they have for technology that are much stronger than what we've had in the past. And I'd find ways to really make sure I understand how to talk with both customers and prospects with that mindset. I'd also really think about my marketing and my sales strategies and the voice in which I'm bringing those messages to those customers, so I'm addressing each of the different type of personalities within my customer base. Jennifer, let's turn the table a bit. You know, we have a very large group of accountants, over 25,000 in the Sage Accountants Network. And you yourself were an accountant, you ran a business for well over 12 years. You know, after listening to the keynote so far, you know, what are you thinking the big opportunities are?
Well, Joe, I saw 2 big themes really emerge this morning. The first, of course, is technology. it's clear that change in technology is accelerating both in the marketplace and at Sage. The other theme really is around the fact that this acceleration of change will require a rethinking of everyone's business model. That includes Sage rethinking ours and accountants rethinking theirs. So at Sage, we're really supporting accountants in two ways. First is to provide the technology solutions they need to become closer to their clients, enabling them to increase the value they bring to that relationship. And secondly, by providing education to accounting professionals so they have the knowledge they need to successfully change their business model. When you think about the fact that 29% of firms only talk to their clients once a year, and now businesses are demanding a more interactive, ongoing, sometimes daily discussion with their accountant, that's an entirely different business model. In order for Sage to be an effective partner to the profession, we need to provide the right education, insights, technology, and learnings so they have everything they need to be successful. Again, it's really about two things, technology and business model shifts, and at Sage, we're focusing on both.
Well, Jennifer, that sounds very exciting. You know, on average, accountants are responsible for referring half of the new customers that we get each year to our partners into Sage. You know, obviously, I would personally like to just say, thank you, we really appreciate your contributions. But I also got to ask the question, you know, given that accountants are so critically important to our customers, our partner into Sage, you know, what are we doing to help them grow their business?
Well, Joe, as you know, I'm responsible for driving a major strategy in Sage so we can better connect accountants with businesses through the use of technology. Our solutions are in development, but the bottom line is we believe it's extremely important to help accountants get closer to their clients. Technology solutions that can provide anytime, anywhere access to their client data so they have a better view into the financial health of their business are imperative. Our technology solutions will be focused on enabling better collaboration between the accountant and businesses because, quite honestly, we believe the accountant plays a key role in their success. I also want to emphasize we're moving very quickly. Sage has put the right resources behind the accountant business to ensure we can get to market as early as possible. Now, Joe, I've heard a lot about the work your team has been doing with our partners to leverage Sage Advisor data to help them better understand the needs of their customers. Can you give the partners an update on that?
I'd absolutely love to. So, you know, last year we spent countless hours developing the ability to gather more intelligence about our customers, not only on how they use the solutions that they own, but also to identify other opportunities based on custom models to say, based on the attributes of the business, would this be a good solution for them so we can better target our marketing efforts? So during the year, we worked one-on-one with many of our business partners, and we shared this information. We came up with marketing and sales strategies collaboratively. In the end, the data was really well received, and it really helped us accelerate growth of some of these new solutions. However, we worked with Excel spreadsheets, and there were one-on-one conversations. So looking at what we did at the other table and thinking about the mobile capabilities, we said, hey, can we apply these to tools to help us be more successful as well? And you have an iPad I could borrow for a second? I'd like to show you what we're bringing out here.
And I love live demos, so this is perfect.
So this is a representation of the Sage Advisor dashboard, where we've taken the data, we've leveraged the cloud, and we put it into a user interface that's mobile. Because we visit customers. We're out there, we're talking to them, and we need devices that'll give us the information we need real time. It's always up to date, and it's showing here the products, customers that are coming up on business care, so I can look at, and this is, if I were a partner, this is my portfolio of my customers. Here are my customers here are the different renewals that are coming up, and here are the opportunities based on the different types of opportunities I have within my portfolio. Let's say I want to look at my Sage 100 group of customers. About 53% of my customers happen to be there. It'll pull up a listing of all of my customers, and I can look at individual customers. I can say, let's look at the ones that are really engaged in using the software a lot. A high-value customer, Malding Corp in Springfield, Illinois. If I click on them, I now can see my information, $4.6 million in revenue, the industry they're in, my key contacts that I have in the system. I can look at how they're using and logging into the software that they own. And I notice here, they're not using banking reconciliation. Maybe there's something I can talk to them about that to understand how it can add for more value to a purchase that they've already made. In addition to that, I see that they use our Sage Fixed Asset Solution and Sage Payroll. And look at all these opportunities, payments, CRM, mobile sales, tax, shipping solutions, and others. So I have my ISV opportunities as well as the Sage opportunities as well in order to converse with my customer. The other thing I can do is instead of, let's say, looking at data, I can say, well, let's look at a floor plan. You know, I go into the office and I kind of go from department to department, and I can see, you know, a mock-up of this particular case. It's a distribution company. And if I click there, oops, it's a demo, it's real.
That's why I love live demos.
I know, so do I. So you know, my big fingers here, right? So if I click on usage here, there we go, that shows the different departments and the products that the customer currently owns and they're using. So I might walk from department to department and have some conversations. I also can click on the opportunities, and those are the departments and the different solutions for each of those given opportunities. So it's a great way to go in and pre-call plan, consult with my customer, actually may even share some of this information while I'm doing my executive meetings with my customers, and it gives me better information to make better decisions, to instill more confidence with my customers. So I gotta ask the audience, is this gonna help you be more successful in the coming year?
Well, that was great, Joe. We're already determining how we can leverage some of the great work that your team has done around Sage Advisor and take that technology to market for accountants as well, because you can see how this would be very valuable. It's really clear to me that whether it's accountants, bookkeepers, or our partners, we're building strong relationships and capitalizing on all these great solutions to drive growth in both of our businesses. Immediately following this, Joe and I each have super sessions where we'll be drilling into this in greater detail and sharing with you all the opportunities that are available. So be sure to join us. You're all invited.
Great. You know, Jennifer, when I reflect upon everything that I've seen so far, our products, the customer experience, Sage's overall strategy, you know, I believe that Sage has a very unique value proposition. And that value proposition is actually everyone here in this room. It's our ISVs, it's our partners, it's our accountants. You know, it's in addition to the entire ecosystem, we're differentiated also by awesome products and solutions and a laser focus on our customers. All I can say is that I'm excited, I am confident now more than ever that now is the time to capitalize on these opportunities to grow our business. So on that note, Jennifer and I hope that you take the maximum amount of time and focus at the summit, gather the information you can, collaborate and network. Attend our super sessions later today, and we're excited. We're looking forward to a great week. Pascal, back to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Joe. It's clear that our partners and accountants have a very important role to play in Sage's strategy. At the same time, Joe and Jennifer highlighted the leadership that partners need to take in order to capitalize on the Sage strategy. I want to speak about that topic a little more. But first, Himanshu, I want to say it was great having you, and it was a very productive discussion. But I believe you need to be somewhere else since you have a super session on products. We'll start very soon. So thank you for being with us now. And ladies and gentlemen, Himanshu Palsole.
Thank you, everyone.
So this brings us to the final moments of today's keynote. I hope you have a clear understanding of how we are aligning our effort in our products to meet the changing marketplace and the generational shift within our customer base. We have climbed many peaks over the past couple of years as we transformed this company and the business we share together with all of you. One thing we have learned along the way is that even if everything is very well planned, even if our strategy is solid, challenge will arise. In those moments, there may be a tendency to question the strategy or question if we are moving in the right direction. But when you are on a side of the mountain in dangerous freezing conditions, with a blizzard coming on, and you're making important safety decisions, you can't be indecisive about how to proceed. You have to act. It's like that in business too. After preparing what you believe is the best strategy, you must put your energy into reaching the summit. As leaders of your businesses, you have to make a decision. You can either stand still, get back to what you did in the past, or move forward. Sage cannot make the decision for you. We believe we know the best route. In fact, we have mapped it out. The puzzle in all this is that you can never be 100% sure of the outcome. as there will be always plenty of arguments to stay exactly where you are. So finally, you have to know what to do when you don't know what to do. Yeah, it sounds silly, but it's exactly what it takes to move forward and embrace the future and on. That's what Sage did. When we looked at the challenges of having multiple brands, some people wanted the comfort of keeping all the brands combined with the power of having a single global brand. But truthfully, we couldn't have both at the same time. With portfolio management, we knew we couldn't keep the status quo. We couldn't invest in all products equally. We had to be decisive. And when it comes to business model, it might feel comfortable to hold on to the way things are, but it's simply not sustainable. It's the same when you are halfway up a mountain. One part of the group said, it's too risky, we don't want to move. Another part said, we cannot stay here, we must go. The truth is, you don't know who is right in the moment, but if you don't commit, if you're not decisive, we all know what will happen. In the case of the rebranding, portfolio management, and our pricing model, the positive growth we have seen in H1 and our Net Promoter Scores is directly linked to the decision Sage made when we set out to climb those summits. Based on this track record, we are confident that the decision we are making today will allow us to be even more successful a year from now. Over the course of this morning's keynote, we told you we are focusing our energy on 3 areas going forward: customer experience, leveraging the web, and payments. We have decided that customer experience is the best way to differentiate ourselves in the market. It's the best way to build a more valuable Sage brand. We are already seeing success, which indicates it is the right decision. When it comes to leverage the web, we have committed to create a single, seamless customer experience in the cloud for Sage North American customers. Not only will we be successful in our mobile connected services strategy, it's going to change the face of Sage and create a lot of opportunities for all of you. Our third area of focus is about creating greater freedom for our customers. We will do this not just through products, but by delivering services like our payments offering that make our customer lives easier and their businesses more successful. And all of this cannot be delivered without the right investment in the Sage brand. As a result, I've asked my teams to triple our brand investments for the next year. Yes, that's a threefold increase in our brand spend to support your own investment with Sage. I believe we have an exciting journey in front of us, full of new challenges, but also promises. I hope you will join us. I hope you will increase your level of investment with Sage. We have all the assets you need to accelerate your growth of your business. If you decide to join us, we will support you. We will help you develop. And I assure you, you will be successful with us. Speaking of the future, I can't wait to be with all of you at Sage Summit 2014, celebrating the success we are going to have together in the year ahead. But for the moment, take advantage of being here this week. Sage Summit is a great place to learn about ways to grow your business and increase your value proposition for your customers. So make the most of it, enjoy yourselves, and see you at the top of the next summit. Thank you very much.